Blind Spot Episode 9, Authentic Flirt. I really loved this episode. It was a really good action episode. It was also kind of funny because we have Rich.com as our villain, and he's sort of like, it starts off, you think this is going to be like, he's this guy and that guy has you taken from, he gets like the tickets at the gala, instantly drives you from there to a helicopter, takes your phones, takes you to a secret island, all this stuff, and then it's like, this is the dude who wears a suit with Adidas on, and he's like the relaxed, silly, super rich guy, but he's also evil, which we totally get in this episode. And it was really fun. It was like a good episode. Like, we have Weller and Jane totally separated from the team. It's kind of like when they were in, I don't remember the name of that place, but when they went to the outskirts, basically, and it was the whole team separated. This time we have like our two main characters completely separated, and it's just them on a mission. It's like them on a mission. It's just crazy. It's like, how are they going to get out of this? How do they get the list? All this stuff work, and then they find out that there's another hitman out there. So there's a lot of different layers to this mission that they have to deal with, and it was really fun to see how are they going to solve this problem. They kill the first, they kill the other assassin, and then they get busted, and it's like, he's an FBI agent. They put the card on him and everything. He gets killed, and this is when things got really weird. When Rich shot the guy who had the card, he took it off of the assassin's body. I'm assuming that guy was like his head of security or something. There was no dialogue in there, but he shot the guy that picked up the card, and I was like, everyone jumped because it's like, why did he just shoot that guy? So I'm assuming he had something to do with, security, and that's why he shot the guy, but they don't put any like dialogue in there, which I thought was weird. He just shot the guy that picked up the card. Or I guess that was the guy who lost his card. That's what it was. Because when that happened, I was thinking I don't know why I thought this. I wasn't even thinking. I thought Rich was the one that said that, but I guess it was the security guard that he was the one that lost the card. So just figured that out in my head. So it made sense now. But he shoots that guy for there even being an issue, and then of course he kills the assassin. And then it's like, all right, once he figures out that that Weller and Jane are actually, they're the ones that are FBI. He tries to have them killed, which I thought was a funny scene. Like, he's like, all right, I'll take you to the helipad and everything. He's like, hey guys, kill these two, and then they have a little standoff, and he thinks that he's gonna get out, and then they kill him, and he's like, oh, well, there's that too, and he just wasn't thinking. But it was just a really cool, just insane moment. Like, the whole thing, they're trapped on a little island mansion, so it's just like really weird. Like, they don't have really anywhere to go. The rest of the team has to figure out, how do we find them? They pretty much had no lead, so they just had to, kind of work at it. And it was really cool. It was just a really fun mission. And, then we have the other half of the story, which unfortunately ended really sad. And this was the thing, like, I knew it was going to happen because in the preview, it was like, oh, they have this mission that's happening and someone isn't going to survive. And it was like, okay, even in the preview itself, they showed, like, Jane, they showed Weller, which, of course, they're the main two, but they showed them, and I believe they showed Patterson in the preview, and also Zapata, so it was like, okay, that only leaves, like, 3 people anyway in the episode, but as soon as they kind of put an emphasis on David, having, like, his own little storyline, I was like, oh, he's gonna die in this episode, like, this is the person that ends up dying, and he does, unfortunately. Like, he has, like, the whole episode, he's following this woman, and it does give a clue as to how current things are, because they found that book, and that's still happening. So, with him having died, I don't know when the rest of the team will get that information. Like, this isn't something that's super old. This is something that's currently happening right now. Like, they, went to the books and everything, and then we see this woman go in, she reads it, and she erases it, puts it up, and then she got another book, if I remember right. So there were 2 books in there, and there was a guy that was following after David, and when I saw that happen, I was like, he's the one that kills him, but then David follows after the woman, and she's the one who kills him, and then the guy's following behind him, and he's like, oh crap, and he's the one who calls the cops. So I don't know what's going on with that at all, because now it's like, alright, she was doing her own thing. I honestly thought the guy was just like her protection, and he was following David. And I don't know, like, maybe they were together. They were the ones that were writing the letters to each other. and he was just there like, all right, she left out, and now I'm gonna go, and he saw David coming out right after or something, and that was how that worked. I don't know, but it was pretty interesting. Maybe he was just following the woman to begin with, and he just knew like, all right, so David's following her. I'm gonna follow this guy and see what happens. But I don't know who he. I don't know. We don't know who either of these people are. Like she's writing in the book. She takes off. She kills David because he's following her. So she could be a bad guy, or she could just be scared and she thought that he was, coming after her or something. Like we don't really know yet. And then we have this other guy who may or may not have been following her to begin with, and then he's only found David. So now we have like two random people we've never seen before. We don't get any information on them. It's just three people in a line like going in a direction, and that's it. And unfortunately, David got killed because he was trying to get more information. So it's really sad to see him go. I was really hoping that he would stay on the show. I like this character. He was funny. But it's sad. It sucks to see him go. And then, of course, this is after he and Patterson break up. So it's like he gets dumped and then he gets killed. It's like, that is the worst. So, it sucks to see a character go. Even though he was technically a minor character, we've only had 9 episodes. So it's not like, it's been seasons and he's only been in 2 or 3. Like, he's been in like a third of the episodes, technically, with there only being 9 episodes. He's been in a third of the episodes at this point. So it does suck to see him go, because I did really enjoy his character. He was funny, and I thought they totally had potential to where they could have brought him on as a main character. And I believe that's something I mentioned before when they got busted working on the books before. And it's like, oh, he could easily be brought in. And I know you have to technically go through a lot of stuff to end up working for the FBI, but I just thought that it was a possibility. Like, he could help Patterson, and they would just work together, and they'd solve issues. Like, he'd figure some stuff out, she'd figure some stuff out, work together, and find stuff. Like, as simple as that. And now all of those possibilities are gone because he's been killed. So it was really sad to see that happen, because I did enjoy his character, but it was still a really great episode. I don't know what effect we're going to see from the next one. It should be fairly interesting. And also, Zapata does make her decision to not help Carter out. Like, she breaks the little bug at the end of the episode before going to the party and everything. So she's made her decision. So that's going to have an effect on her character, and maybe she will get outed by the next one. Who knows? But I'm really looking forward to this next one. It should be pretty fun. It's going to be fairly somber as well. Of course, Patterson's stuff is not going to be the happiest side of the stories in the episode, but it should be good. It should be pretty interesting. They may or may not find out about the books and everything, because they're going to try to figure out, like, if he was stabbed in this random location, why was he here? And I'm considering who Patterson is, I think she'll be smart enough to be like, okay, the only thing that he could have really possibly been doing, or it's at least a possibility, not like the only thing imaginable, but she'd probably go back to the library and be like, well, this is all I can think of. So you start there, and she'll actually get her answer. That'll be exactly what happened. And obviously she'll know, like, oh, someone just wrote in this book, and maybe he followed that person. And then I don't know, if I would assume libraries have cameras. Everything has cameras. So get the footage, find the woman in red, do some surveillance on the city. There's the woman in red. There's the guy following behind David. So now they have both of them on camera. And then that's how we get to find out who these people are. But looking forward to it. Really enjoyed this episode. Sad ending, but the main mission was really awesome. And unfortunately, because of the trailer, I was like, I know it's going to be David. They're not going to kill off any of the other characters. So it was just like, it kind of sucked watching his side of the storyline because of the trailer, just knowing this is going to end with him, getting put in the hospital and dying. And they said he wouldn't make it, but granted, they say that all the time in trailers, like, oh, someone might not make it. But I think they did specifically say someone will not make it, so sadly it was David. I wouldn't want it to be anyone. I mean, it's so early to be killing people, but they would have to kill a minor character if they were going to, and that's what they did. But I like this episode either way. I do want to know what you guys thought about it, of course, though. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And because we do have a loss of a character from this episode, and it is sort of a mystery as to what he was doing, because no one else knows that he was at the library and everything. I want to know what you guys think, or how you guys think they're gonna figure out who this man and woman are, because that's a big deal. Like, we don't know either of the characters. We don't know if this woman is bad, We don't know if she thought someone else bad was coming after her and that's why she stabbed David. It really is a mystery, and then it could be even sadder when we find out that she is a good guy or something, and it's like she killed David and she just thought that he was about to kill her, and that would just make it even sadder. Like that would tear her down or something. You know, that would should actually be kind of good just TV wise. But I want to know your speculations. I gave you mine as far as them just backtracking to the library through Patterson, but who knows? There could be something else. They could end up having the info on the guy because he did call 911. So who knows how they'll do it. But I want to know your speculation. So please comment below. Let me know. And thanks for watching.